Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mayor's Corner. This is a broadcast that I'm hoping that we'll have every last Friday of the month and at noon. We're running a little late today, I apologize, but I wanted to introduce you today to our Finance Director, Mr. Roland Ramos. Mr. Ramos, welcome. And
Thank you, Mayor.
thank you for coming, and I just wanted to introduce everyone to our finance director. Our finance director has a huge responsibility in our city. You handle all our money,
And that's correct.
all our money, and how to invest it, how to spend it, and advise all our departments. So you want to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do?
My name is Roland Ramos, and like the mayor said, I'm the Director of Finance. I've been here for 4 years. And as the Director of Finance, some of the duties entail budget, the preparation of the budget and the audit and day-to-day activities. Part of that could be investing the funds, where we invest them, safekeeping of the funds, anything dealing with the bond issuance and proceeds, and also I'm in charge. I'm the immediate director of the municipal court, utility bidding department, maintenance and construction. Special projects falls under the utilities, and I've also within the last several months assumed responsibility for the construction management.
My goodness, that's a lot.
Yes,
That's
but I've
a
enjoyed
lot.
it.
Yes, and right now we're going to be going through our budget workshops.
That's correct.
So through our budget workshops, I know that you also have to meet with our directors, and they give you their list of what their budgets are, and y'all kind of figure that out and see, is this something that's sustainable? Are we able to stay within that budget, and what
That's-
kind of funds they have available? And
Yes, we've already received the wish list from all the directors, as you mentioned, and of
Yes.
course our job now is to try to do our due diligence and see if we can incorporate some of those items on
Yeah.
there. Some may make the list, some may not, but we just prioritize and move forward with what we can incorporate.
yes, and I know you presented, well, our city manager, Mr. Esparza, presented to council at our last meeting, our proposed budget.
That's correct.
So we're going to have our upcoming budget workshops, which we're going to have a public hearing on the 3rd. So you're welcome to come and speak on any of those items or concerns about the budget. They should be posted.
Yes, there's actually 3 workshops on August the 3rd, August the 10th, and the 17th. And August the 10th is where the public hearing.
It's the 10th. I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's
Yes.
okay. So it'll be those 3 budget workshops.
Okay, I thought I had heard different, so, okay. And during those budget workshops for the public, so they can know, once they're posted, they can review that. If they have any kind of questions, you're welcome to come during that public hearing and speak on those items.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes we're not able to answer a question, but at least we can hear your concerns and address them at another budget workshop or be later
Yes, ma'am.
to work with everyone else. What are some of the other, like as far as you mentioned investments for our city, how does that work, or what do you look at?
Well, I'm the investment officer. I have to attend actually a training, every 2 years to be the certified investment officer. Myself and my deputy finance director, which is Vanessa. So we just look at a rate of returns, and of course, one of your primary objectives is to make sure you have safe investments. So that's part of the training that we go through every year, to make sure we have safe investments, that we got a good rate of return, good yield. So those are some of the things we look at, but we never neglect that safekeeping is the number 1 priority.
And I know when we go out for debt, you're also key in all that with our consultants and our city
ma'am.
manager when we're going out for debt or.
Right. Yes, that's another one, and it helps that we are a rated a city, so that of course you get a better rating, and the last few times that we've gone out and issued debt, we've gotten a very, very good rating and a very good interest rate. So that helps out quite a bit.
I know I believe the consultant was able to secure it at a very low interest rate.
Yes, that's
I
correct.
think there was a couple these were before that zero interest rate.
Some, we did get some zero interest rate with the Texas Water Development Board and some loan forgiveness that we received on the first phase of the groundwater project. And currently we're working on the second phase, and we've applied for that. And hopefully we'll get some 0% and loan forgiveness. It's not guaranteed, but if it's available, then we will receive that as well.
And I know we had talked a little bit at our council meeting, because we were awarded the ARP fund, well, not awarded, allocated funds for that from the ARP funds, and it was 4.07. Of course, we don't get that all at one time. We're only receiving half of it,
50%.
50%, and then 50%, I believe, a year later.
A year, yes, ma'am.
And those funds, there's very specific uses for those funds, and they've given us some guides to go by. And I believe council did want to make sure that we allocated funds to make sure that we addressed our city water lines,
Yes, ma'am.
our sewer, and revenue loss. I think.
Revenue loss.
And have we received those funds yet?
No, ma'am. We submitted all the paperwork that's necessary for it, and we're waiting. We've been approved, but we're waiting on when the state gets a certain percentage, they're going to seek from the Treasury Department the funding, and then when the state receives it, then 30 days after that we'll get it.
After 30 days.
And this is for the non-entitlement cities,
Which we are.
which we are under 50,000. The others received it straight from the federal government, from the Treasury.
So we're looking forward to that, so we can start getting some of this issues with our clean water, with the issues with water and
Yes,
water
ma'am.
lines and so anything else you'd like to let our citizens know about your department? How many people, or how is it structured? Or
The utility department, I guess we can start with the utility department. We have 3 parts, which is the administrative part, where the ones that deal with receiving the payments and answering phones and answering questions. And then we have the maintenance and construction crew, which is actually the ones that go out there and deal with any repairs to lines and so forth. And then we have the special projects crew as well, that deal with any what we call force account, or people that, I mean, the ones that we deal with in-house. It could be a Texas Water Development Board project, it could be a Tech Stop project we're working on, that we have our in-house people take care of it, which is what they call the force account.
and these are the ones when we have a emergency, like a break in a line or something. Is that what you're talking about? Or?
And capital improvements. For instance, the TxDOT water line project that I referred to is one where they're funding it, but our guys are doing the work.
Okay.
And
That was
special
part of
projects.
the agreement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And they'll do that portion of it, and we're working on that right now.
Okay. And I don't know if you want to announce this or not, but can I? Or
Yes.
unfortunately, our finance director will be leaving us. So it's a bittersweet announcement, sweet for him,
Yes.
because he's going back to family in his hometown. Bitter for us, and we're gonna miss you, but we appreciate everything you've done and what your department has done and your leadership.
Oh, thank you so much. And yes, I am going back to my hometown and family, but y'all are my new family too. So I'm only going 20-something miles, east of here. So I will always be there for Alice. It's gonna always have a special place in my heart, and each one of y'all. I think I was blessed with this opportunity to work here. I feel like I have a special bond with you because you were on the original council that hired me. You and City Council Member Chris were 2 of the original ones, and of course the others I've learned to, I've spoken to them several times and dealt with them for several years, so I have very good relationships with them as well. But
Yes.
y'all took the initial leap of faith and had the confidence to hire me, so I'm very appreciative to y'all, and I've been
Okay.
blessed.
Well, thank you for everything, and we're looking forward to seeing what else our finance department will bring. And I know that y'all are working diligently to find someone, interim at least.
Yes, that's correct. And we have a very good team. I have an
Yes.
excellent team. I have no doubt that the city will not skip a beat. Y'all are in good hands.
Well, I know you have a lot of experience in that department, and Vanessa has been there
Yes, ma'am.
a while, so
Yes.
we appreciate y'all. We love you, and
Thank
we
you.
wish you the best in your future endeavors, and thank you for just updating the citizens just to what your department does.
Oh,
and
you're welcome. I'm glad and proud to be here.
Thank you so
You're
much. So right now, we'll have our emergency management coordinator coming on, and our fire chief. And thank you so much, Mr.
Oh, you're
Ramos.
welcome. Yes.
Wish you the very best.
Thank you. Likewise.
Now we'll switch to our fire chief and EMC director. Thank you for coming, and we wanted to give the public a little bit of an update. I know that besides the hurricane season, we finally got our magazines. So if you need a guide, we have them here at City Hall, and they're going to be placed in front of utility.
They're already placed there in front of
They're there?
utilities. They're pretty much on every floor.
On every floor? Okay, so if you come to City Hall, don't forget, you can pick up your hurricane guide, and it has some good information in there. Don't forget to register for our Hyper Reach link. If you go to our website for the City of Alice, you'll at the very bottom, you'll scroll all the way down. There is a link there that you can click, and it'll take you so that you can register. Can you explain a little bit more about the Hyper Reach?
Sure. So HyperReach, what she's saying when she talks about HyperReach, it's our emergency alert system. It's a system that will notify you in case there's an emergency. And if you go to our hurricane guide, there's a really good explanation of what this is. It's on the first page as soon as you open the book, and it explains to you what that system can do. It's designed to notify you in case there's any type of emergency, so floods, fires, there's severe weather, there's a public health alert. That's the mechanism that will get some of those messages out to. So having that system is a pretty powerful piece of information that's going to be sent out through that system. So we're encouraging everybody to please register for it. And again, like the mayor said, there's on our website, you can go to the link, you can go to our Facebook page, and there's links on the Facebook page. Alice Echo also has some links to it on their website. And then of course it's in our book, and there's some QR codes on here. There's a cell phone number that you can, or not a cell phone, but a phone number that you can call to register. You can text to register, or you can fill out the form and come drop it off over at my office, and we'll get you registered.
And there's some drop boxes that if it tells you what area, and they can register when they register.
Correct.
So-
When you register, it'll ask you for your information on how you want to be notified, and then it'll also ask you questions on the types of notifications you'd like to receive. So if you'd just like to receive just weather alerts, you can click that as well.
Okay, well, thank you. Also, some of the recent concerns we've had are coronavirus, COVID cases that have gone up. So being the emergency management director and emergency management coordinator, we do get alerts and get some updates. And we also have our Jimos County Emergency Management, but he's our
That's correct. So,
manager.
and yes, we have started to see an increase in the amount of COVID-19 positive cases that are coming up. For a little while there, we were doing really well. We had, plenty of days where we had very few, if not any, COVID positives that were being reported to us, and then all of a sudden we started seeing a little spike in that. Our local hospital as well. We're in constant communication with them, and they started to see an increase in the amount of bed capacity and hospital space that they have in their hospital, and a lot of it is because of the COVID cases that are coming in. And so it is concerning, and so we want to make sure that we just remind everybody that COVID hasn't gone away. It's still here. You still need to listen to your medical experts, and they issue the guidances for us to follow, and they're the experts. They're the ones that, should know
Right.
what we should be doing. So,
And they
you
could
know,
go to the CDC website and
you
kind of.
can go to the CDC website. You can go to your local doctor. Whatever medical expert you feel comfortable listening to is where I recommend you go to.
Yes.
Of course, we have vaccinations available. There, is an abundant supply here in town of vaccines right now. I know, speaking with our hospital, they've got plenty of vaccines available for anybody that needs a vaccine. On a weekly basis, they're having vaccine clinics at the hospital. So if anybody does not have a vaccine and would like to get a vaccine, Christian Spawn Hospital has vaccines available. Dr. Nissenblatt over at Alice Pediatric also has vaccines available, and I've confirmed that with him. And then I believe there are other local, practices that also have vaccines that are coming in. So there is no shortage of vaccines. People can get the vaccine if they would like to get it, and follow what the medical experts are telling us to do.
Yes.
When whether you've been vaccinated or not been vaccinated.
Well, we encourage precautions, the safety precautions, whatever guidelines that are being placed out there for everyone. So y'all be safe and be protect yourselves. Get informed and again reach out to those professionals that are the experts in those areas. And we want to wish the best for everyone. School will be starting up soon. So
School's starting soon. I know we've also had some concerns that that school is starting, or concerns that have been expressed to us from citizens that school is starting, and of course there's no vaccines for the little ones, 12 and under, or under 12. There aren't vaccines yet, and of course masks are not required for anybody to wear at the school or anywhere really, and so I just want to reiterate what the governor's orders say. We're not requiring anybody to wear a mask. The city's not requiring anybody to wear a mask either, but we are encouraging personal responsibility. It's up to each one of us to take our safety to in our own hands. And so if you feel that you need to be wearing a mask, then wear a mask. If you don't feel you need to wear a mask, that's up to you. It's everybody's individual right to decide whether or not they want to wear it or not and protect themselves. And so the same thing follows at the school. If you feel that your kid needs to be wearing a mask, then send them to school with a mask. I don't think the school is going to tell them they cannot wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not going to require them to wear a mask.
And I remember seeing something from the CDC that stated even if you were vaccinated and you're in certain groups or something, they recommend it to wear a mask.
That is one of the guidances that just recently came out, that even if you have been vaccinated, you should wear a mask if you're going to be in an area that is been identified as an area that has a surge in COVID cases.
Okay. Well, thank you. Don't forget to pick up your guide for Hurricane Guide with some very good information. Register for our hyper reach, and just be safe out there. Use your better judgment and get the advice from the professionals. And we thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next month, last Friday of the month. And thank you for joining the Mayor's Corner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.